It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hello. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving weekend, Thanksgiving, Black Friday shopping. If you did all that today, Cyber Monday, shopping online. I hope you made it back to your destination safely. I know we've had some weather issues, winter weather, especially Pennsylvania and upstate New York. Buffalo Bills football game. It was like a winter wonderland. They had to have fans to come out to. I think they got paid a couple dollars to shovel the snow off the seats so the fans could come and watch their football team blow out the San Francisco 49ers. My name is Geno Jones, but I guess you can read, right? Even Stevie Wonder could see that big old sign behind me, right? So I come to you live Monday through Friday, normal start days and start times. Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Right now, Chicago is about 5:30. Live in Los Angeles and on the West Coast is about 3:30 p.m. right now. So tell everybody to subscribe to my channel, to share this in every episode, to screen grab or rip some of the video, like this and every episode, binge watch all my back episodes, and please leave your comments in my comment section. The Geno Jones Show, brought to you by the Crate Group, presents The Low Country Meets the Oscars. The big gala is going to be December 15th. Get your tickets now. Basically, it's a black tie event to where we recognize unsung heroes, people who have been doing great work in the community for years, decades, and never just got any attention. No one ever, gave them recognition, shined a spotlight. You didn't see them on the news. People don't talk about them on TV and radio shows, but they should. So they are going to get their roses, as they say, while they are still living. Get your tickets, 843-900-7904, 843-900-7904. And the Geno Jones Show, also brought to you by City Vibes Bar and Lounge. It is the ultimate spot for grown folks to have a great time. They had a big weekend from Thanksgiving all day into the evening, and a big event Friday night, Saturday night, the Big Burke High School reunion sequel part 2, and then their brunch on Sunday. City Vibes, 7930 Dorchester Road. Somerville, South Carolina is a part of the Charleston, South Carolina Metro. You can follow City Vibes, V like Victor, I, B as in boy, E, S like in Sam. City Vibes on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you to the Crate Group and City Vibes for being a sponsor of the Geno Jones Show. Today, December 2nd, is a brand new day, brand new week, and a brand new month. December 2nd, and today is National Day of Rest for Black Women Day. That's a real thing. National Day of Rest for Black Women Day. So, fellas, I'm sure we have a day. If not, we can just create one. But shout out to Black women. It's a day to prioritize peace, joy, and restoration for Black women. And fellas, we can take a page out of their book. So shout out to the Black women of America, Black women all across the diaspora, across the globe. But here, hopefully, all my Black women, all my sisters out there, I hope it was a day, even though it was Monday, so you had to go back to work. But maybe you took the day off, you knew it was coming. Hopefully, not just today, but do this every day. Black women and Black people, Black men also. Prioritize peace, joy, restoration. And that means peace of mind. Your mental health is equally as important as your physical health because the two are directly connected. Your mental state of mind and your mental health will definitely affect your physical health, and your physical health can affect your mental health. Absolutely. They are absolutely connected, intertwined. So this is so important. So speaking of health, let me give you an update on Pastor T.D. Jakes, the Potter's House in Dallas, Texas. So he had a health scare about a week or so ago, and he was doing a sermon on camera. He had a health scare, and so this weekend, in a video message to his congregation in Dallas, T.D. Jakes, Pastor Jakes said that he told his congregation, and I quote, "Many of you are looking at a miracle. And I'm continuing to quote Pastor Jakes. He said, I faced a life-threatening health calamity. I was rushed to the ICU unit, the intensive care unit. So he said, I was rushed to the ICU unit. I had emergency surgery. So he said he's back. He told his church when he was, right before he had this event, health scare, he would be back in a week. So he was back, but he said, once again, told his congregation that many of you are looking at a miracle. So those who believe in the power of prayer, pray for Pastor Jakes. Now, speaking of Pastor Jakes, so there have been a lot of rumors for decades. There have been stories about Pastor Jakes going to Puff Daddy Diddy parties or a party. There's been salacious rumors about tapes and all that. You probably heard them. If you haven't, well, okay. It's been out there. So it's not a secret. This stuff has kind of been out in the ether, out in the culture, whispers. Sometimes they weren't whispers. Sometimes they were like loud ass shouts like a bullhorn. So anyway, why do I say that? So Pastor Jakes is filing, and his attorneys are filing a defamation lawsuit saying that Pastor Jakes is being defamed, which means basically to lie about a person that will cause them, them and their reputation harm and cause them financial harm and professional ruin, basically. As I'm kind of paraphrasing. I'll have my man Sean Mitchell, our legal expert, but he would be proud. That's the general definition of defamation, legal definition of defamation anyway. So Pastor Jakes and his attorneys, they filed a defamation lawsuit against a man named Dwayne Youngblood. Now, Dwayne Youngblood has an interesting background. So he claims that Pastor Jakes sexually assaulted him when he was a teenager, like 40 years ago. He said that Pastor Jakes grabbed him and tried to kiss him, and then Pastor Jakes called his home, and he said that Pastor Jakes apparently he said he was in a tub. He could tell because he said he could hear water. So I guess maybe Pastor Jakes was in his tub running some bath water. And according to Mr. Dwayne Youngblood, this is his allegation. This is what Dwayne Youngblood has said. On video, you can find it. The video's out there. As a matter of fact, this conversation that Dwayne Youngblood had is on YouTube. So you can find it right here. So Dwayne Youngblood said that this was, 40 years ago when he was a teenager, that Pastor Jakes called him and told him that when he came to Pittsburgh, so I guess Dwayne Youngblood at the time lived in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So according to Dwayne Youngblood, Pastor Jakes called him on the phone and told him over a phone conversation that when Pastor Jakes came to Pittsburgh, that he, Dwayne Youngblood, was the only person that Pastor Jakes was going to sleep with. That is a direct quote. He also said that Dwayne Youngblood alleges and says that Pastor Jakes told him that you, Dwayne Youngblood, can't sleep with anyone else because I don't want to give my wife a disease. That is another direct quote from Dwayne Youngblood, and he didn't, and that he would financially, if he did these things, if Dwayne Youngblood did what allegedly Pastor Jakes told Dwayne Youngblood, that he would take care of him financially for the rest of his life. Well, for these comments and some other ones, Pastor Jakes' attorney has filed a defamation lawsuit. Don't ask, Geno, what do you think? Listen, okay, let me be honest with you. I can't necessarily, there's one more thing I need to point out. Speaking of an interesting background, this character, Dwayne Martin, who became a minister himself, who has been accused, Dwayne Youngblood has been accused of the same behavior that he is accusing Pastor T.D. Jakes of. He's been accused sexually assaulting a young person, a teenager. So listen, that's a whole, boy, that's a deep rabbit hole. It's my honest opinion. I don't know if Dwayne Youngblood is lying or not. I can't say I don't believe Dwayne Martin. I can't say that I do believe Dwayne Youngblood, or Dwayne Martin, Dwayne Youngblood. This man who alleges that when he was a teenager, Pastor Jakes sexually assaulted him and basically told him that when he came to town that he was the only person, that Dwayne Youngblood was going to be the only person Pastor Jakes slept with, that Dwayne Youngblood couldn't sleep with anyone else because he didn't want to catch any kind of disease and give it back to his wife, and that Pastor Jakes told Dwayne Youngblood he would take care of him financially if he did these things. Look, anything is possible, okay? Now, like I said, I'm not the only person that's heard these. Sometimes they were whispers, sometimes they were loud shouts about Pastor Jakes. It wouldn't shock me. If it was true, it wouldn't shock me. If this dude is lying, it wouldn't shock me. I just have to be honest. I do, but let me be honest, because I had an interesting, just as I'm processing all of this, I said, what if? So let me back up. It is obvious that Pastor Jakes has ministered millions of people over his career. I think of famous people like Deion Sanders, who really thinks highly of Pastor Jakes, speaks about when Deion Sanders was in a real dark place in his life, was somewhat contemplating suicide. That Pastor Jakes was a spiritual advisor and someone who talked to Deion Sanders. You can Google this. This is not like opinion. This is not a rumor. It's a fact. It's no secret. Deion Sanders has openly talked about it. And Pastor Jakes has ministered and spoken to the spiritual souls and lives of millions of people. But two things can be true. Multiple things can be true. Just think of the priests in the Catholic churches for decades, centuries probably. The sexual abuse that we've seen, not just in the Catholic Church, in churches in general. Story of Bishop Eddie Long, the New Birth Church in Atlanta, and the stories of Bishop Eddie Long and his indiscretions with young men. So would it surprise me? No, it wouldn't. But I said, if Pastor Jakes was leading a double life, now I'm gonna ask an obvious question that I have the answer to. Why would he feel the need to not be able to just live his true self, live his true life, and be true to who he is? Now, I know the answer. They're like, well, Geno, Christians, a lot of Christians, and a lot of churches, and it's not just the black church, so don't start that. All right, because you see these white evangelical churches, speaking about, and they're hypocrites. We could name names in the white evangelical church of men, condemning. Now, I haven't necessarily heard a Pastor Jakes openly condemn and scorn, but I can't think of the pastor I want to say so. But it was, I think he comes from a famous family. I think his father was one of these famous white evangelical leaders. But the whole story about with this dude and his wife, this evangelical leader's son and this daughter-in-law were having this relationship with like the pool boy or some dude, but then he, there's public statements, he's condemning homosexuality. So the hypocrisy, just the hypocrisy of humans, let alone in churches across the world, across America, across denominations. I grew up seeing hypocrisy in church, in a Baptist church. So that's a whole different conversation. But so what do you have a bigger problem with? His hypocrisy, if he has been living a lie in a double life, I guess obvious would be a bisexual man because he is married and he does. Pastor Jakes, I'm confident that he's got children. I think he's got a son and a daughter. But I know you say, what does that mean, Geno? That don't mean nothing. There are a bunch of married men on the down low. They had wives and kids, and they had male lovers, and I get it. But I'm saying, what's the most egregious to you? Is it the hypocrisy or the closeted lifestyle? And does that diminish the lives that he has touched, the souls that he has basically spoken to, and the people that he mentored? I don't have the answers to all these questions, but these thoughts were just kind of going around in my head. It's a complicated set of questions. Feel free to leave your comments once again in the comments section. And I'd love to hear and read what you think and have to say. All right, before I get out of here, today, I think it happened Sunday today, but this has been the big conversation. Also, in the news world, President Joe Biden pardoned his son, Hunter Biden, who was convicted for gun and tax convictions, who basically any unbiased legal expert said that the actual charges that Hunter Biden received, if he was just like a regular dude, but it never went to jail. Never went to jail. It's like for what the gun and tax conviction charges that he was actually brought up on were not like some serious like tax evasion like Wesley Snipes, folks like that back in the day. But like I said, many experts, legal experts, who are not political pundits, who don't have a dog in the fight politically, just say, listen, there's history. People who have actually had these type of gun and tax conviction charges that Hunter Biden had, they would never get a jail time because I guess they're relatively minor, and it was related to when he was really in the throes of his drug addiction. But President Biden pardoned his son. Now, President Biden said on many times during the campaign this year, and I believe in 23, but many times when he was asked while he was president, once his son was convicted, would he pardon his son Hunter? And he said no. So he changed his mind. He went back on his word. Now, people who watch the show regularly can say, Geno, I thought your grandfather taught you something. He said your word is your bond, right? Yeah, it is. Absolutely. But there are exceptions for everything and to everything. And I don't really give a damn about the MAGA cult saying, well, see, look, Joe Biden said he wasn't going to pardon his son. Please, those in the cult, y'all need to stop talking. Shh, please, be quiet. Thou protest too loudly. When the dude is about to go into the White House on January 20th, has been convicted. He is a convicted felon as we stand today. He was convicted on 34 counts of falsifying business records in New York State, who was found liable in a civil trial of sexual assault. The judge in that civil trial, it was not a criminal trial, the judge in that civil trial said that the evidence that he saw proved to him that Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll, who was a columnist who wrote for either one of the big magazines in New York back in the 90s. So a man who was found liable in a civil trial of sexual assault, of rape, according to the judge presiding over that civil trial. That was the judge's words, not mine. And who was convicted, who was a convicted felon, 34 counts of falsifying business records is about to be the commander-in-chief when anyone watching me right now, anyone else who tried to join the military with one felony count will be rejected. Who are found liable of sexual assault in a civil trial would be rejected. They would not be allowed to join the military. And this person is going to be the commander-in-chief of all the branches of the military. And with all these facts being out there, 77 million people voted for him. In spite of all the racism and the Islamophobia, Islamic hate, everything, anti-Semitism, anti-immigrant hate, the lies about the Haitians who were here in Ohio, Springfield, Ohio, legally said they were eating, the lies, the racism, the hatred, the sexism, the misogyny, the sexual assault charges in a civil trial, and the racism and the misogyny and sexism and hate didn't bother 77 million people. Say less. So if I'm Joe Biden, yeah, I'm pardoning my son, because my son would have never been convicted if my son's last name wasn't Biden. Now, some people could say, yeah, well, Geno, there's a lot of black folks who've been wrongly convicted. Yes, facts. Like I said, two things, multiple things can be true. Absolutely. Well, it's some innocent black folks that President Joe Biden is not going to pardon. Well, I can tell you who damn sure is not going to pardon them. Orange Hitler damn sure ain't going to pardon them unless they are a famous rapper and he's doing it. But he's got his, he's used his willful idiots who were black and Hispanic to say, hey, look at me, I'm not a racist, look, I've got this rapper. People sold out not just their culture and their community and their people and their family, sold out their souls for some dollars. That's a different monologue for a different day. I have no problem, zero problem. And I don't give a damn about the cult saying, well, see, you can't talk about, no. You can no way, in no lifetime, can you compare the character, and he's not perfect and he's made mistakes, but he's a good and decent man, President Joe Biden and Orange Hitler. If you try to make that comparison, you are a fool. Absolutely, positively, you are a fool. Or you are one of the people who are either racist, sexist, misogynist, and full of hatred and bigotry, or you are so comfortable and cool with it. We're still, if you are comfortable and cool with someone who is so openly racist and bigoted and hateful and sexist and misogynist, I have to look at you sideways. Because if you are that okay with it, that you will be willing to vote for him because what? You think the price of eggs, the price of everything is about to go up. Oh, just wait till January 20th. But you fell for the lies and the con and the okie doke and the bullshit. And excuse me, mother, but that's exactly what it is. Oh, if you think you're lonely now, wait until tonight. That was a song by my man, the late Bobby Womack. Oh, if you think prices are high tonight, just wait until January 20th when these tariffs kick in and all those sales they had at the stores, all those big giant 65, 70-inch TVs they had on sale for $300-400. Well, next Christmas, those same TVs are going to be $1,500, $1,000, $2,000. All right. About to find out. January 20th, you'll be entering the found out. You'd effed around, and now you will find out. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. I'm just taking a peek at my chat room. Hello to my number one fan. Hello, Mother. How are you? And everybody else watching me live or the recorded version of the show, thank you for watching. God bless each and every one of you, and especially you, God, most of all. Thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show live. Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Chicago, 3:30 p.m. live in Los Angeles. Tell everybody you know to subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. Subscribe, share, screen grab. That means rip some of the video, chop it up, make it go viral. Little 30-second, 60-second clips, 90-second clips, 2 minutes, 3 minutes of the whole damn show. Subscribe, share this and every episode. Screen grab, rip some of the video. Like this and every episode. Binge watch all my back episodes. And leave your comments in the comments section. All right, the Geno Jones Show brought to you by City Vibes Bar and Lounge. It is the ultimate adult spot here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro. Follow them on Instagram and Facebook. 7930 Dorchester Road. Somerville is part of the Charleston, South Carolina metro. Is probably about 25, maybe close to 30 minutes just north of downtown. So like if you're downtown Charleston, a little less than 30 minutes, depending on traffic. If it's like no traffic out there, you probably do it in less than 30 minutes, somewhere between 25 and 30-minute drive from downtown Charleston. All right. And the Crate Group. The Crate Group presents the Low Country Meets the Oscars Gala, a big gala to recognize and honor and celebrate people in the community, the unsung heroes that have been putting work in the community, supporting the community, giving to the community, the young people, the elderly people, and those who are in need in the community. It's an awards gala to recognize those unsung heroes. It's going to be December 15th, which is a Sunday. Get your tickets now. Get your tables now. Shout out to Kendrick Bannister from the Crate Group, 843-900-7904, 843-900-7904. Shout out to Kenya and my man Corey Williams, the owners of City Vibes Bar and Grill. Also, you can follow them on Instagram and on Facebook. All right. Oh, shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. Got a little side sticking out there. Check him out on Instagram, Kelby Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP on Instagram. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. She is a fashion designer and future superstar as a fashion designer. Check her and her Lexi Jones collection out on Instagram or IG. L like Lexi, X like extra, dot, N like Nanette, C like Charlie, L like Lexi, underscore, LX dot, N like Nanette, C like Charlie, L like Lexi, underscore on Instagram. And Bruce Gage, wardrobe consultant and stylist for the show. Check him out on Instagram. Bruce Gage. So it's Mario Uomo. Mario Uomo. Now Uomo it sounds like it's a W, like whoa, W. No, it's an Italian surname. So it's spelled with a U. So Mario is M-A-R-I-O. Uomo is U like umbrella, O like Oprah, M like Mary, O like opera. Mario Uomo and the Fly Ball Collection. Thank you for watching, everybody, live. If you missed some of the episode, go back and watch this episode, binge watch all my back episodes. I will see you again live Tuesday night. Don't forget, please leave your comments about everything that I talked about on the show today. Leave your comments in the comments section. I'll even read them I'll read them live on camera tomorrow or Tuesday, depending on when you're watching the show. 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Chicago, 3:30 p.m. live in Los Angeles. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.